Okay, question number 1. We're looking at Maths Watch Clip 62, Grade D questions, proportion recipe type questions. So these ones here are non-calculator. So here are the ingredients needed to make 8 pancakes. These questions are very popular, especially in the GCSE paper, even in the higher paper, in the foundation paper, we have these type of ingredient questions. So here are the ingredients needed to make 8 pancakes. James makes 24. So first of all, this ingredient is for 8 and he wants to make 24. So what we have to think is, how do we get from 8 to 24? Okay. And the answer is, what we do? Times by 3. So if this is the ingredients for 8 pancakes and you want to make triple the number of pancakes, then you have to use triple the number of ingredients. Okay? So this is for 8. These ones here. And we now need to make 24. So to get from 8 ingredients to 24, we times by 3. Okay, right. What we do now, is the question says here, work out how much milk he needs. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to work out the milk and all the others as well. Alright? So milk is going to be this, times by 3. So we have 250 times by 3, that will give us 750 milliliters of milk. Okay, that's what the question A is all about, just that one part. But for good measure, we can do all of them. So you have the eggs times by 3, so that gives you 1 times by 3 is 3 eggs. 140 times by 3. So if you do 140 times by 3, you do 100 times by 3, which is 300. And then 40 times by 3 is 120. So 300 plus 120 is, so 420 grams of flour. And the last one is 5 grams of butter. For 8, we're going to multiply it by 3. So 5 times by 3 will give you 15 grams of butter. Okay, so we're happy with that. Alright, next question says, Kate makes 12 pancakes. Work out how much flour she needs for 12. So now we need to go from an 8 pancakes to 12. Now that's 12 is not a multiple of 8. 24 was a nice question because 8 times by 3 is 24. Now we need to think about how we get from 8 to 12. So let's just have a look at 8. Okay, and we want to get to 12. Okay, for the smarty pants out there, you know that 8 times by 1.5 is 12. If you haven't realized that, or in the examination and you're feeling a bit panic, let's give you like a more robust method that will get you the right answer rather than you thinking about the decimal multiplier in this particular instance. So now I need to get from 8 to 12. Right, do we know how to get from 8 to 4? That should be quite simple. So get from 8 to 4, what do? We divide by 2. So 8 divided by 2 gives you 4 pancakes. Now if you know what 8 pancakes is and you know what 4 pancakes is, you can just add them and give you 12 pancakes. Okay? For those of you who don't want to add that, that's one way of doing it. So now you know what 8 pancakes is. To get to 4 pancakes, you halve the ingredients. That gives you, and then that gives you 4 pancakes. And then you can just add them, that will give you a total of 12. Or you could do this way. Once you got the 4 pancakes, do you know how to get from 4 to 12? And the answer is yes. Just times by 3. Okay? So what we can do here, we can now, all of these ingredients, it goes to work out how much flour she needs. So I'm just going to quickly rub this off now for the moment. So the flour is over here. So I need to get from 140 gram flour for 8 people, 8 pancakes to 12 pancakes by doing what? Dividing by 2 and, or you could do dividing by 2 and then add in the 2 up. But I'm going to use this method now. So we're going to divide it by 2, okay, flour, and then we're going to times it by 3 in one nice calculation. Okay, so 140, if we halve it, that gives us 70. And 70, if we times it by 3, will give us an answer of, what will that give us? Okay, 210 grams. That's question B done. Okay, so this is like, in a sense, the indirect method. To get from 8 to 12, 8 won't go directly to 12, but we do know how to get from 8 to 4 and then from 4 to 12. Or 8 to 4 and then 8 at 4. So those two different styles already. Okay, let's have a look at some more questions. Question number 2. Question number 2. Fish pie for 6 people. So these are all the different ingredients for 6 people. Jill makes a fish pie for 3 people. Work out how much flour she needs. Now, we started off with six people. And we now want to get to 3 people. How do we get from 6 people to 3 people? What do? We divide by 2. So if you're going to make half the number of people, we have to half the ingredients. Okay? You happy with that? So let's have a look at that. So we need to work out how much flour she needs. So the flour will be here 180 divided by 2. That will give us an answer of 90 grams. Now, the question goes, work out how much flour she needs. If we wanted to work out the rest of the ingredients as well, we could just repeat the action and quite quickly work out all the other ingredients as well as an additional question, practice. So 240 divided by 2 will give you 120 grams of fish. 80 divided by 2 will give you 40 grams. And 4 eggs divided by 2 will give you 2 eggs. And 180 divided by 2 again will give you another 90 milliliters this time. So what you have to work out, here, is how do we get from what they've given us here, look, they gave us ingredients for 6. And they want you to work it out for 3. So we'll get from 6 to 3 is half the number of people, half the ingredients. The next question, Tim makes a fish pie for 15 people. Work out how much milk he needs. So we need to go from 6 to 15. So what we're going to do, I'm going to rub this, the previous question I said we haven't done this one. And we're going to, in a sense, do that part again. Our target is 15. Right, let's have a look. And we're starting with 6. So now, at the moment, just by your normal times tables, can we get from 6 to 15 with a single multiplier? It won't be a whole number, it'll be a decimal number. Okay, say for example, the example, you don't know what the decimal number is. Yeah? So let's look at a different method. How do we get from there to there without messing about? Or is it going to be timed by 2.5, 2.3, or is it whatever it is? Rather than thinking and getting confused and stressed in the exam, let's think, how do we get from 6 to 15? Right. Do you know how to get from 6 to 3? Because if you know how to get from 6 to 3, does 3 go to 15? Yes. So what you have to do now, you have to go in 2 steps from here to there. And 2 steps that we know how to do. We know how to halve and we know how to time by 5. Okay. Okay, so you have to, when you're doing these questions, you have to think of, I'm starting with this, and I'm going to finish with this. This is your root. That's the idea part. How do I get from 6 to 15? You could do 6 divided by 6 and then time by 15 as well. But we're doing nice chunky numbers like divided by 2. Halving is nice and easy activity. Timing by 5 is easy activity. So yes, we can do that way as well. So we now know how to get from 6 to 15. So we're going to work out, they say how much milk. Right, let's have a look. Okay. In essence, what we could do now, this one was already working out divided by 2. And that gave you a recipe for 3. What we need to do now is get this calculation there and multiply them by 5 for the next part. So I'm going to do that in a different colour. So this part here, 90 times by 5. Okay, I know the question is only asking us to work out milk, which is the bottom one here. Okay, but for now what we're going to be doing, I'm going to be doing all of them so we have more practice. So, the technique to get from 6 to 15 is 6 divided by 2, which we've already done in the previous question, and then times by 5. Because half of 6 is 3, and 3 times by 5 is 15. This is our route from 6 to 15 in two steps. 1, 2. Okay? Right, let's do that. The divided by 2 parts have been done. We've been asked to do it for milk, but we're going to do it for all of them for extra practice. So 180 divided by 2 is 90. 90 times by 5 will give us... Okay, you happy with that? Amna? So this one times by 5 now. So this here was for 3 people. And this one here is going to be for 15 people. Okay, done? 120 times by 5. Okay folks, this is non-calculated question. 120 times by 5. Don't get stressed in the examination. Do 100 times by 5 is 500. 20 times by 5 is another 100. So the answer will give us 600. So we have 80 divided by 2 is 40. 40 times by 5 will give us 200, because 4 times by 5 is 20. Add another 0. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 times by 5 is 10 eggs. We have 180 divided by 2, which is already done, 90. Then the next part is times by 5, and that will give you another 450, but this is on milliliters. But that's the actual answer for the question, the bottom one there. Okay, are we happy with that? Is that making sense? Right, okay. Right, let's move on to the... Right, what we're going to do now, I'm going to give you question number 3 to do for practice. I'm going to come back in the next part of the video and you're going to be doing... I'll go through that myself. Right, let's have a look. Okay, so we've done 3 to 15. Okay, is this the last question on the page? Number 3? Okay. Okay folks, for those of you following us on YouTube, here's the question for you to try. And in a few moments when you try the question, press pause. And then after you've done the question, press play and they'll give you the answers. Okay, here we go. Done? Okay, Bismillah. Okay folks, right, coming back to the question. Alright, let's have a look. Question number 3. Here are the ingredients for making pineapple sorbet for 6 people. So you should have just had a go at this question. That was your homework for those of you following us on YouTube. So I'm going to go through the answer now. Pineapple sorbet for 6 people. Okay, 800 grams of pineapple, 4 egg whites, half a lemon and 100 grams caster sugar. Trevor makes pineapple sorbet for 18 people. So we have to think, how does 6 become 18? He becomes 18 by multiplying it by 3. So I would work out how much caster sugar he uses. So we know that this scale factor or hand factor is being enlarged by 3 times the number of people, 3 times the ingredients. So I'm going to rub this off for the moment here and rewrite this for the caster sugar. So the caster sugar, if you times it by 3, that will give us 300 grams. And that's the answer for the first part. Okay? I'm going to change colour now on my question. I'm going to do the others as well for good measure. So that was the actual question here. But for extra practice, I'm going to work out all the ingredients for 18 people. So 800 times by 3, 4 times by 3, and half times by 3. So 800 times by 3 will give you 2400. 4 times by 3 will give you 12 egg whites. And half times by 3 will give you 1.5 lemons. Okay? That's just extra practice. The next question. Sid makes a pineapple sorbet. He uses 2 lemons. Work out how many people he makes pineapple sorbet for. He uses 2 lemons. So we know that we use half a lemon for 6 people. So I get from half to, and he uses how many? 2. To get from half a lemon to 2 lemons, what we do? We multiply by 4. If you multiply this ingredient, this one part of the ingredient by 4, you're going to multiply everything by 4 and multiply that by 4 as well. So really what happens then is going to be 6 times by 4. So the answer is he made it for altogether how many people? 24 people. So that's a different style of question on the ratio. We're not just simply multiplying, but we're trying to work out backwards in a sense. What did he do? So we said half a lemon was for 6 people, but he used 2. So 2 is 4 times the amount of this. So if I'm using 4 times the amount of the lemon, I'll be using 4 times everything else, and that would mean be 4 times the number of people, which would be 4 times by 6 is 24. Okay folks, thank you for joining us on this video. If you like it, please subscribe and click on like, and share the link with your friends and family and your school colleagues. Join us back for another video. Thank you.